Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this evening talk on vocal charisma, how to develop your vocal quality by Michael Lam. Michael Lam holds a Bachelor of Accountancy from NUS, a Master of Commerce from Universities New South of Wales, and a graduate diploma in training from Civic Service College. He started his own training outfit, Hard Knocks College, in 1995, an AMA and NLP licensed trainer. He is also an IFC Associate Certified Coach, Laughter Yoga Instructor, IACT Stressology and NGH Hypnotherapies. He authored 3 books: I Once Wore Diapers, Who Broke My Rice Bowl, From Beggars to Millionaires, and Make the World Your Oyster, some of which are translated to Malay and Korean. In 2003, he won the ABC True Hero Award for his selfless community work. And since 2009, he is an adjunct faculty with Open and SIM University. Michael trains executives in corporations and institutions like NUS Extension, NUS and Institute of Chartered Accountants since 1996. So please, let's put our hands together and welcome Michael Lam.
How many of you want to have an attractive voice? How many of you want to have a lower pitch voice? And how many of you want to have a strong voice? Thank you. You come to the right place.
Sexy voice.
Lower voice. Your voice represents a unique you. Your voice is your brand, and your voice is your calling card. Now, all of us has a beautiful instrument, but many of us do not know how to use it. And worse, many of us forgot that we have a powerful instrument which we can use, called your voice. There are 6 ways of developing your voice. And these 6 ways, which I'll go through one by one, is number 1, posture, breathing, your mouth, number 4 is a food, 5 is a vocal cord, and 6 is a lifestyle, which I will cover later on, each and every one of them. 7.5 million Americans have trouble using their voice. 3 million Americans have problem shuttling. They are shuttlers. And 8% of American children have speech disorders. So let's go to the first one on our posture. Now, before posture, there are 4 types of voice. One is your nasal voice. You speak with your nose, and most people get turned off. If you speak with a nasal voice, people you come in contact with, in a networking session, in an interview session, in a communication session, people get turned off. Now, the next voice is your mouth voice. Now, when you speak with your mouth, you are underworked, overworked, and people do not appreciate you. And you get very tired very easily. The third voice is your chest voice. Yes, it is still better than your nasal voice and your mouth voice. Your chest voice generates interest, but it is not the best possible voice. And this evening, I will show you, the best voice you can have. It will make you sound very attractive socially. It will make you sound very authoritative, and it will make you sound like a leader. So from this evening onwards, you can sing, you can chant, you can meditate, you can laugh, you can yawn, and most importantly, you can speak from your diaphragm, okay, which is the diaphragm voice. And this diaphragm voice is what we're going to talk about tonight, and I will show you the skills on how to achieve a good diaphragm voice. Now, first of all, number 1 is posture. We need to stand properly. So how we're going to do it is, imagine there is a string tying from the ceiling to the top of your head. And this string will pull your head up. In the meantime, you will stand your leg apart. And how wide do you stand? You stand at the same width as your shoulder. So not narrower than your shoulder, not wider than your shoulder. Now what do you do with your hands? Your hands, you have to hang loosely and freely by the side, which is difficult. Most people will put hands in the pocket, and most people overuse their hand gesture. Your chest has to be slightly out. Now your shoulders were drawn back and down. Do not hunch your shoulder, or do not pull your shoulder to your ears. Your chin has to be parallel to the floor. Now, when you speak, when you present, when you communicate, the best position is to stand. Because standing will give you the power to come from the diaphragm, through your throat, through your mouth, and then through your projection. Now, the second way to achieve your vocal charisma is to breathing. Now, it took me many years to learn how to breathe. You may think breathing is easy, but breathing is perhaps the most difficult. To master our breath is to be in control of our bodies and our mind. So say, tik, hak, hang. And Luis Irigaray say, breathing correspondent to taking charge of one's life. How to breathe through the nose. First of all, inflate your stomach. Diaphragm breathing. There are two ways you can breathe. One, you can breathe through your nose to your chest, and that is shallow breathing. Alternatively, you can breathe through your nose, but then now to your diaphragm, and your diaphragm expand. And how you do it is, you put your arm and your hand around your waist. Okay, and when you breathe in, down to your diaphragm, you will find that your waist expand. And that's where you take in air deeply. Now, when you do that, your shoulder should not move up and down. When you speak from the diaphragm, when voice is produced by diaphragm, your voice will travel from the diaphragm through your throat, through your vocal cords, through your mouth, and out of your mouth. Okay? Now, in this process, it gives you the power of your vocal tonality and the power of your voice. Many people speak to the mouth, and that is a very common mistake. So you find that after speaking for 10 minutes, you feel very tired, and your mouth is very dry. So the best way to speak is through the diaphragm. Okay, and as you see a baby breathe, the baby actually breathes very heavily through the diaphragm because you can see the whole abdomen moves. Okay. The third way to achieve a vocal charisma is your mouth. Many people are very stressed by the mouth. Okay, now one way to open your mouth and to relax your mouth is just by opening up your mouth and relaxing your jaw. Okay? Now, at the same time, you do not want to open your mouth so wide that it tends up the face. Now, our mouth is actually a very powerful instrument. Our mouth is a cave. And you know, when you go to a cave, the sound echo, there's resonance. And the resonance of your voice make you powerful, make you authoritative, and make you hypnotic. So the bigger your mouth it is, the better it is. So what you do is, we create space in the mouth. Now, how do we create space in the mouth? We open up the jaw. Okay? We lift up the soft palate. That is the roof of your mouth. That gives you a lot of space. Now, that scenario is exactly happen before you yawn. You know, when you yawn, you open up your mouth and you open up your upper palate. So that is what we want to achieve this evening by opening your mouth and by relaxing your mouth. Now, what do you do with your tongue? Now, your tongue has to rest at the bottom of your mouth. And then, your tip of the tongue touches the back of your lower teeth. So, in so doing, you will create a cave in your mouth. Okay, and this cave will help you to produce the voice and to help you to resonate the voice. Now, how many of you here got acid reflux? You guys say reflux. Now, acid reflux is when the acid rushes from your stomach up to your throat, right? And that is acid reflux. Now, avoid acid reflux. It is very bad for your throat. Why? Because acid reflux is very acidic. Okay? It is the acid that rushes up from your stomach through your throat. And that is no good for your throat. Now, number 4, we will come to food. Food can help you improve your voice and to improve the vocal variety and to help you build a vocal charisma. How many of you here eat whole grains? Yeah, whole grain is very good for you. I eat whole grains every morning. And there are fruits and vegetables. Okay, and after break, we will have fruits for you. Okay, so remember, whole grain, fruits, and vegetables are good for you. Why? Because they keep the mucous membrane that line your throat healthy. Okay, otherwise, it will be very dry. Now, I know some of you take coffee every morning. Some of you must have a cup of coffee every afternoon. Coffee, soda, and wine is no good for the throat. Why? Because they do not have the moisture water has. As far as possible, avoid foods that promote acid reflux. So what are these food and drinks that create and promote acid reflux? Number 1, caffeinated drinks. Okay, so caffeinated drinks include your coffee, okay, your canned iced coffee, okay, tea, okay, carbonated beverages, so soft drinks, Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, all these soft drinks are heavily carbonated and with sugar. Full cream dairy product. Okay, full cream dairy products is no good for the throat. Milk in your throat doesn't give you any traction. Okay, there's no grip on it. It is just like a car traveling on a road, okay, that is filled with oil. And when you jam the brake, the car cannot brake. So the same effect as full cream milk, it smooths the throat. It lubricates the throat too well, okay, that there's no traction at all. I know you like fried food, oily food, and spicy food. Okay, and again, fried food, oily food, spicy food is no good for the throat. Okay, so avoid chili. And the last thing to avoid is avoid food with high salt content. Our food tastes very nice because they use very cheap quality oil and very high salt content. Okay? And they put a lot of MSG. So food with very high salt content are bacon and salted eggs. These are the major victims of very high food salt content. Bacon and salted eggs. Now then we come to the vocal cords. Now the vocal cord, the larynx here, is known as commonly your voice box. Okay, and this is where your vocal folds are. Okay. So before you speak, you got to warm up. Okay. And we will do some warm-up exercises. Okay. So warming up is exactly the same as when you warm up a car. Okay, is when you warm up in the morning to wake up and to go to work. Okay, so the best way to warm up your voice in the morning, before a lecture, before a speech, or before leading a discussion, is to do this exercise. Okay, and the exercise is very simple, and everybody can do it. It's Okay, everybody do it. Now, can you feel that your cheek is a cave, right? And you can feel the vibration. Okay, do one more time to warm up your voice. One more time. Good. Now, when you speak to another person, or when you give a lecture, or you lead a discussion, or give a speech, you have to throw your voice. Okay, you have to project your voice. Okay. Now, so how do we project your voice? How do we throw your voice? Is that you see the person you are talking to, and you target the person, and you project your voice towards the first person here. Now, if you want to be more secure, what I do normally is, I do not project my voice to this lady here. Okay, to be very safe, to be very secure, I will project the voice to the second person. Right, so if I project the voice to the second person, then I'm very confident that the first person will be able to hear me. Okay, so throw your voice, project your voice to the other person. Shouting and yelling on top of your voice is very bad. And it's very bad for your vocal throat. So when you shout at another person, what your vocal cords do is actually they are slapping each another. And when you do it another time, it will crash, it will cause redness and it will cause nodules, And the nodules are very painful. I had in my class a few years ago, a pretty Malay teacher. She was teaching primary 1, and after 11 months of instruction, she has to go to general hospital to operate, to cut off the nodule. Why? Because she shouted at the student 5 days a week. From Monday to Friday, and from the subsequent Monday to Friday, she shouted at the student. After 11 months, okay, she kept on hitting her vocal cords, okay, and the nodules grow, and she has to cut off the nodules in the operation. So in the general hospital, most of the people who go for operation are the school teachers. 95% of the patients are school teachers. So avoid shouting, avoid yelling on top of the voice. If you need to speak louder, do not yell, just go nearer to the person. Okay, so you're not straining your voice. You have to drink 4 to 6 glasses of water every day. The water will lubricate your throat. Okay, it will make your throat very smooth, very moist. Okay, I know drinking 4 to 6 glasses of water is difficult. Most of us do not achieve that. Okay, in fact, many of them just drink 1 cup of water a day. So I would strongly recommend you to drink 4 to 6 glasses of water a day. Okay? You have seen some office workers, what they do is that they don't count the number of glasses. They just buy a big water bottle. There's 4 glasses. So every day they have to finish the big water bottle. So there's another way of doing it. Honey is good for you. Okay, honey is very good for you. And what I do is every morning, I take a glass, I put honey, and I put lime. Okay, and every morning I drink it without fail, a glass of honey and lemon. Okay, this will keep your vocal cord very moist. And finally, the thing about vocal cord is you have to balance your voice. You have work-life balance, you have a balance in the wheel of your life, your spiritual, your finance, your health, your exercise, your family, your friends, your social. But many of us do not balance our voice. In other words, we have to regulate our voice. Now, say, for example, if you know tomorrow evening you have to lecture for 3 hours, okay, then tomorrow morning and afternoon, speak as sparsely as possible. Okay, be a miser in your voice in the morning and afternoon. So you regulate your voice. Okay, to not pack all your activities of speaking into one slot. Okay, spread them out through various activities. So remember to regulate your usage. Last but not least, we will talk about the lifestyle. If you want to have a good vocal charisma, you have to change your lifestyle. By a show of hand, who are smokers here? So smoking is no good for the throat. Okay, smoking is bad for your throat. Now, many of us do not smoke here, but we are still exposed to smoke. Second-hand smoke. Okay, so when you walk through the walkway, when you walk to the car park, when you walk along the street, you are actually breathing, second-hand smoke. Okay? And many of us do not know we are actually breathing third-hand smoke. Who know what third-hand smoke is?
From the furniture.
Yes, third-hand smoke is smoke that gather in the furniture, in the curtain, okay, in the ceiling. Okay, so we are actually breathing in third-hand smoke. So avoid smoke, avoid second-hand smoke and third-hand smoke. Avoid alcohol. Okay, all forms of alcohol, gin, tonic, shivers, beer, wine are no good for the throat, including mouthwash, which got alcohol content. How many of you here use mouthwash? Okay, I've stopped my daughter from using mouthwash. Okay, mouthwash with alcohol content is no good for your throat. One thing about lifestyle, next point, is simple. Everybody know it, but we don't do it. How many of you sleep 7 to 9 hours a day? Good. Yeah, so the rest of you sleep less than 7 hours. We are not alone. Huh? Research has shown that 50 to 70 million Americans have sleep disorder. 35% sleep less than 7 hours. Okay, and 30% sleep less than 6 hours. Okay, so sleeping is very important for you if you want to have a good voice. Okay, I personally, I make sure that I have 9 hours of sleep. Okay, every evening, I tire myself out so that I can sleep very well, 9 hours. Okay. Now your lifestyle, you have to relax. Okay, relax. So what is good for relaxation? Yoga, meditation, walking, watching a movie, reading, music, having coffee, talking to friends are very good. Now I know we live in a very stressful society. We have to work very hard, there are a lot of traffic jam, there are a lot of demand from the family, there are a lot of demand from the children. Okay, but as fast as possible, relax. Because it's only when you relax, you can produce a beautiful voice. Now, I have a list of do not for you to do. Do not do this. Firstly, do not whisper. Whispering is bad. Because whispering is underusing your voice. Okay, so talk like in a normal tone. Okay, if you need to whisper, you put the person aside. Talk in a normal tone. As I said just now, do not strain your voice. That means do not talk extensively, do not talk continuously. Okay? Break up your conversation. After you speak, give some airtime to the other person to speak. Give some airtime for the audience to ask questions. Give some space and time for people to do exercises. Some people has a habit of coughing and clearing the throat. Right? Even they have no cough, but it becomes a regular bad habit. Okay? It is bad to clear your throat. Okay? Same like shouting. Shouting, coughing, clearing the throat is very bad. Okay? Now, equally bad is swallowing your own saliva. So do not swallow your saliva. If you are dry, if you are thirsty, drink water instead. Do not squish or push your voice, to the last ounce of your energy. Okay? So some people do this. They speak beyond the breath. So in the breath cycle, they try to finish the last few words in a sentence, within one breath. Okay, so do not do it. Okay, so break up your speeches in short sentences. Speak within the breath cycle. I know there are many vehicles on the road. Okay, some of you work in industrial zone. Do not expose your voice to dusty, polluted, or dry environment. Now, so in conclusion, I repeat, I have shown you there are 6 ways of developing your vocal charisma. Okay, 6 methods you can slowly nurture and grow your tonal quality. Okay, number 1, posture. Okay, stand in a straight posture. Okay, as if there is a string holding your head to the ceiling. The width of your leg is the same as the shoulder. Okay, and do not strut your shoulder high. Okay, chin parallel to the ground. Look forward to the person at eye level you're speaking to. Breathe into the mouth is the second one. Breathe into the mouth or the nose and breathe in right inside to your abdomen. So it is like a balloon, and slowly you release your air up to the stomach, to the throat, to the mouth, and finally out. Okay, avoid food with a lot of chili, a lot of spices. Okay, take a lot of water, take food that are whole grain, vegetables and fruits, and they are good for you. Okay, do not strain your vocal cord. Warm up your voice as before you speak. Avoid any liquor, coffee, or tea. Drink a glass of orange or honey with lemon every day. Okay, change your lifestyle. Avoid smoking, avoid liquor. Sleep 7 to 9 hours. Okay, and if you do these 6 methods, you will find that your voice improves. Now, ladies and gentlemen, be patient. You will not see immediate results. You will not see significant results overnight. Okay, but if you do it straight away, you will find there's a difference. Okay, when you breathe properly, when you have the right posture, and you warm up. Okay, it is a slow start. But a slow start is better than no start. So thank you very much for your attention, and I wish all of you well and that you will have a good vocal charisma in time to come. Thank you very much. Thank you.